I got my old Accord stripped. This is a sad day. I drove this car for almost 2 years on the road. I paid $400 for it, but been through a lot of good times and bad times with this car, and the good times definitely outweigh the bad. Front bumper, all I did was give it a kick. It is actually rotted right off, so I'm gonna have to come up with some means to put a bumper on this. Underneath the hood, is it closed? Underneath the hood we have some problems. So first off, about a year ago the coil pack gave out on this thing, and I was too cheap to spend the $50 on it, so I just used one of my Chevy coils. And so that will have to be relocated to the interior of the car, which is not a big deal, or even just up there. The big issue is this. I don't know if you can see it, but if you notice there's no belts on here and the belt's kind of hanging down. It broke the crank pulley off the front of the motor, so I have no alternator, no water pump, no power steering, no nothing. So yeah, this car's gonna die fast. Now, my ideal plan for this car would be to take it to Barrie, because in Barrie you can just let these things fly, and this car would be great for Barrie. It is a bigger car that I have no problem putting my foot down and doing 40 kilometers an hour in this car. But the problem is Barrie is ran by Thrill Show. And this car, in Thrill Show's rules, is big car. Because Thrill Show's rules is 106.5 and under is small car, and 106.5 and over is big car. Now this car measures in at 106.9. So it is just over. So I'm going to try to call them to see if I could run this as small car, because I don't want to run this with big car, but if I have to, I will. Impact, this car is small car. Anything with a 4-cylinder is small car. So it's a tough call. Do I run it where at the track I want to run it, where it's a hard packed track that I can lay down big hits, but I'll run big car, or do I want to run it at a smaller track with more built cars to be in the small car? I don't know. I'll have to make some phone calls to Thrill Show and see what I'm allowed to do. So this year here we got a couple planned, but I'm not planning to do as many derbies as I did last year, because last year was just crazy, the amount of derbies I did, and then I was building cars for other people, and it took too much of my time. But for a 1994 Accord wagon, this thing is half decently clean. Like, I tried to buy 2 other Accords after this one died so I could use this one for parts, and nothing, not a single one was as clean as this one. And this thing here has had a hard life. I put treadmills on the roof, put 14 tires, a dog, and a girlfriend inside the car, on top of the car. I had it tow my 41-foot gooseneck there for a while, just once or twice around the property. I just dropped the ball right onto the roof, and then Rat just strapped it to the running rails. But put 2,000 pounds of batteries in the back of it, put 2,000 pounds of steel in the back of it. This car's been good to me, and it's been cheap. $400. Those tires I found at the dump, and they bolted right on, didn't balance them or anything. They worked out perfectly for this car. Great snows. There is a problem with the motor other than the belt. The motor leaks oil. For every 500 kilometers I drove this car, it leaked 2 liters of motor oil. So I was putting used motor oil in this thing for 2 years. Never a problem. No oil changes, no nothing. Like, everybody used to laugh at me on the job sites. I'd be stuffing oil in this car every day. I even stuffed a whole bunch of pine needles down the oil filler neck, just to try to see if the pine needles would stop the leak. But this car here has been nothing but good memories, and it's going to be sad to see it smash. But that's the best thing about derby cars. You spend so much time with them, you get to know them inside out, and then as one little dying wish, you get to kill them. And they get to prove to you one last time that they were worth it and that they've been a great car. But anyway, I'm rambling now. This car here I'd like to take to Barrie, but we'll see how it goes.